It takes a little longer to turn a bowl from 2 boards. It is as simple as turning a bowl, but there's more to it, putting it together. By the way, if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, please ask. Stop me. You take 2 boards, you glue them together like this. Down the center, draw a line. Draw the same line across on the top and then on the back side. The wood I've used for these are standard finished lumber. This is a 1x6 and I cut it 12 inches long. Is it actually 1 inch thick? No, right? One by board is not. That's the finish, rough finish before they sand it down and put it into the market. So this board is 3/4 thick. What I do after I put these 2 boards together like this, I'll draw a circle here at that center. My base for this particular item is going to be 4-inch diameter. Then I'll measure up on this line off the top of this diameter, the distance, the thickness of the wood. Draw another circle. Another one, another one, another one, until I get to the end of the board. Concentric circles. And I take it apart. Let's see here. I may have bandsaw. Those circles here, I start with here, and I cut all these radii at 45 degrees. You have to bring your bandsaw blade down 45 degrees. I used to have, every time I tried to bring it down to 45, I have to fool around and measure it, make sure it was 45. So what I did was I took a 2x4, and cut a 45 on this. And I put it on a saw blade and lower the table. Now I've got my angle. So I cut each one of those, and I end up with all of these cut like this. Now I have to glue them together. I glue the sides together like this. I use a clamp. Come on, dummy. I clamp them like that. What glue do I use? This glue. Do you want to use the other glue you normally use for other turning projects? What's that glue called? Yeah. So that leaves stains. This doesn't. So you glue all these together. Just like that. Clamp, and you should put a weight on the top of that, because if you don't, it'll ride up. All right. Next, you can take another piece of wood, stop that from creeping up. You've got this piece here. Sometimes it'll ride up. If it rides up, I usually take this board like this, place it on here, and put a weight on it. till it dries. I usually let this dry for a day, and then I go down to the shop and start turning, or start doing the other things. Now, that's glued together. Here's the seam. I take the second largest, I put the seams at 90 degrees apart. The reason I do that, it makes this stronger. If I have a seam here, skip, seam here, this seam is over here. So it's, and of course, I put this on here like that. Make sure the pressure is on and it glues. After it's glued up, you get something like this. Now, I have to put a shoulder on here so I can mount it in a chuck. I have something like this, which I glued on this pad. I place this on the lathe. I bring this up like this with a chuck. And then I turn this 3/4 piece in this way, at least 3/8 of an inch. Now I can take this off, turn it around, put it on the lathe, put it in the chuck. I can turn the inside and the outside.
So how close to round are you at this point?
I'm sorry?
How close to round is the ball at this point?
It's not, well, just there it is.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you got to get it close, you know, but it's not perfectly round. Okay, what else? Oh, gluing. Sometimes when you have this piece down like this on your table, if you don't do something like putting a piece of plastic wrap, you'll be able to take off easy later, so you won't have problems with it. These walls are thin. You have to go slow and easy. I use only 3 tools to do this. This one here is the square end, which I use to make that piece there. I use a standard gouge for this, bull gouge. When I get close and inside, I'll use the round, what's this called? Come on.
Round finisher.
Yeah, what's the name of the tool?
Carbide? Easy tool?
The Easy Woodworker?
Easy work.
Easy Woodworker. You win $1.
I don't want the dollar.
Oh, good, I'll keep it.
I want 5.
But, you know, that's all there is to it. You just have to take your time. It really is easy, but if you're in a hurry, you're going to run into trouble because you're going to make mistakes. That's all there is to it. It's simple.
What'd you finish it with, Joe? Anything?
Yeah.
Come on, it's not that hard of a question.
You got-
I'll give you $1.
You've got hair like this, man. God.
Ollie?
Yeah, poly. Wipe on poly. About 6 coats. Then I buff it up. Oh, one other thing I should say, when you see this edge here, the sharp edge? Well, when you're finished turning it, it's in the chuck like this, just take a little off and make that square edge on there.
When you select your wood, normally you look at a board, you look at it from the top. Well, the top isn't gonna be seen, you're gonna see the edge. So you want something that has the grain, you look at, that has interesting grain from the side rather than the top.
One other thing here, a lot of people like to start, like some of the work you do. Where you, what's it called?
Segment
Pardon me?
it, segment it.
Segmented, right.
Give me a dollar.
Well, if
Give him my dollar.
if you want to start segmenting, you get two different pieces of wood, you know, maybe cedar, pine, whatever. And when you put these together, one will be a different color wood, the other one different too, right? So you've got one cedar, one pine. So now you got to segment it. And if you rotate these joints, like there's a joint here on the next piece. The joint is going to be 45 degrees, 90 degrees over. So now you have a different color here.
Hey Joe, when you're chewing up the boards so that the joints will fit together, do you do it on a bandsaw or on the?
No, I don't do it any of it. I got two boards. They're finished.
You buy them like that?
Yeah. But you can do that.
No, I was wondering if you got them already milled and or not.
You can take your table saw.
Don't have one.
Going to?
Don't have one.
Then buy two boards.
That's what I wanted to know.
But there's nothing much to it. It just takes time to do. So I saw a turner from Australia do this. I said, wow, I'm going to do one of those. My first one didn't turn out so good.
It's a great introduction. It's a great introduction to doing segmenting. You can take those half rings and cut them on the bandsaw and make quarter rings.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, if you use two different pieces of wood, you could alternate the colors as you go around. So
It makes
you can do a lot with just starting right the way you got right there.
yes.
Have you ever cut the rings out on a scroll saw instead of a bandsaw, and then you don't have to do it again?
You don't have to put them together.
If you got a scroll saw, you
It's a
could,
scroll saw on a number 5 blade.
Cutting a
Yeah.
circle.
Drill small hole.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. You want to have.
Well, then it's not two boards.
one more.
One board.
One board bowl.
Yeah. And then take, you can also do that with a jigsaw.
Yeah.
You turn your angle 45 degrees.
The wavy swap.
So, that sheet I handed you, it's got notes on it and some on the other page. If you got any questions, ask me later. Yes, sir.
Have you done it on a smaller scale? Because when my dad was telling me about this, it was his first ever meeting he came to. You demoed this. I was interested in doing this at a smaller scale for like little spice dishes, so they all match like that.
Yes, you
It's like I
can.
cook a lot, so I figured it would be really cool to have that.
Yes, you can. You can do it at a different angle too. You don't have to use this 45.
Yeah.
You know, if you use the tighter angle, it comes up straighter.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing to do. You know.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so next month, everyone bring their version and
Well-
get the running for,
No, I think it's May, right?
is it May? Month.
Next month. April.
You're not giving us much time.
Yeah.
All right, I don't
April
care.
11th
Yep.
meeting.
I'll
I'll give you $1 if you're.
You want to change the date?
Not me.
Can we change the date?
Don't you like to?
Would you like to change the date?
Good challenge.
Oh, you know what, cause this was pushed off by a week,
Yeah.
so,
Correct, yeah.
yeah,
Well, I make a motion, we change the challenge date to the May meeting.
I
Great,
second that.
because I'm gonna be missing the next one, so that's good.
So that would be May 9th.